Jam nitty gritty, you're listening to the boy from the big bad city. This is Jam Hot. This is Jam Hot.
Welcome to Who's Hot with your host, Wil Chung.
Hello, thank you for downloading the latest episode of the UKOCR podcast. This is Who's Hot, and we're here to talk about Total Warrior, the fourth race in the UKOCR season. My name is Wil Chung, and as always, I am here with my two co-hosts, my elite racers. First of all, Becky, Neal. Becky, how are you?
Hello, good, thank you. Well, yes, ready for the next race of the series. Excited to hear all about it.
They're all coming thick and fast, aren't they? It only seems a couple of minutes ago since we've been talking about Rude Rampage.
I know, so recently.
And as always, we have our male elite racer. We've got Chris Shipley. Chris, hi.
Yeah, long time no see, Will.
Always. I actually can't wait to see you in person again. Those multicolored shorts at Nuts is as a strong, vivid memory, and I'd like to see those again.
I might have to break them out at some point. The trouble is, they ride up too high. That's the trouble.
Do you guys need a moment? Shall I leave?
Always.
So we're here to talk about Total Warrior. This is the one at Bremen Park, Leeds. Saturday, the 1st of July, fourth race in the UK OCR series. Probably one of the more northern races that we've got. Chris, you was there last year, and we've just had a couple of comments from you in the last episode. But very quick recap of what you feel and think about Total Warrior as a race altogether.
Yeah, like I said in the previous episode at the end, I just said it was a fast race. It's probably the fastest race we've got on the UK OCR race series at the moment. It's flat, it's fast, the obstacles aren't too technical, and it's just one where I think all the strong runners are going to try and pick this race to really climb up on the point scale, male and female. So yeah.
Much mud?
Not much mud.
Ooh.
Little bit of water and a lot of grassy fields.
Because Rude Rampage was kind of grassy fields as well. I haven't done them both at those locations, so I can't do a direct comparison. But there were some fast parts, but there was also quite a lot of kind of slower, muddy parts and swimming. So it sounds like it's going to be faster and even more runnable than Rude Rampage, and that was probably, quite a lot of running.
Definitely the difference, because there are lots of great fields to run in at Rude Rampage, but with Total Warrior, it's all cut and it's nice, very runnable, no ruts. It is just a lovely place to go run. It's a real good trail running. So it's not technical. When we were talking about Rude Rampage and how you really had to think about your foot, your placement, and not worry about your ankle. At Bremen Park at Total Warrior, you don't have to worry about that at all. You can just run
nice.
And it's just swift.
Yeah, a few gravel tracks as well, so really put the hammer down on that.
Oh, that sounds nice. Very nice. Yeah, I'm always worried about the ankles. I think a lot of people do. It definitely makes me more cautious, even because those fields were a bit rutted and dried up at Rude Rampage.
Makes you worry about shoe choice.
Indeed, and especially when there's long grass, because then you don't want lugs either, because you know, I don't really lift my legs that much. It's my problem. But it makes it even harder if you've got lugs and grass.
Well, that's it, and you don't know whether you want a little bit of rebound coming off your shoes or bit of a choice there.
So, what shoes are you wearing?
Well, if I was going, I haven't decided yet, but I would probably wear my Brooks Cascaders that I wore at OCR Euros.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So I guess similar shoes to Euros then.
Yeah. Especially
Just
if you keep
looking
this
at
dry weather. Oh, yeah. Real with the weather.
Bringing that out. So long range forecast at the moment. You're looking at, it's in the morning, isn't it? 16 degrees at 10 o'clock. Cloudy, a little bit of rain actually, 45% chance of raining. So it's going to be some rain sometime through the day at Bremen Park. But 16 degrees at 10 o'clock. And then it's going up to, although you guys will definitely be a bit finished by 4 o'clock, 19 degrees. But it's going to be wet. The rest of the day, you've got 60% chance of rain. So there's definitely going to be a little bit of water. So I don't think you're going to be too worried about mud, but it's not going to be as dry as it has been. Definitely not.
Okay, so that might be good then. It might cool people down. It might make the ground a bit softer, but not not muddy. If it's nothing too technical, then it's nothing to worry about. Sounds like a good combination, apart from hanging out and having your pims afterwards, of course.
Absolutely. The village is massive with, really great DJs and a sound system going on. And Becky, I don't know whether you remember or know that actually they do have runners on the Friday night as well. So it's already going to be a little bit bedded in, ready for the Saturday runners and the lead on the first wave.
Perfect. Yeah, I did race Total Warrior when it was in Shap, in the Lake District. And I remember they had the long one on the Friday. That was hard terrain though, I thought, but I'm not used to running up there in the real trails.
Chris, do you remember any of the obstacles, any interesting obstacles to note? Even if you don't remember the names, I'll probably get the names for you, but there's a couple that spring to mind for me.
Yeah, they had quite a few water dips, there were a few walls. At the start, I remember they had a nasty little hill switchback, which was pretty horrible, split the field up. And then you didn't get too many obstacles until the later half of the race, when you had some more jumps into some water, some swims, a few crawls. They did have like an electrified fence thing, but that wasn't on, thank God, because I hate that. And then they had some monkey bars and other sort of climbing walls at the end, if I remember rightly.
Definitely. So there's an ice plunge there halfway through, isn't there? One of the things, and I think, Becky, we need to try and get this for 2024. If we can't do it, it's too late for this year, but they have Sprint King, so it's about 100-meter part where they have the timing tips at the start and the end. Nice. And I think we need to try and award a few extra points for UKOCR series next year for that.
Okay, I'll try and remember that. I'll make some notes. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, because they had that inside Spartan last, didn't they? They had like extra prizes from Costa.
I think that'd be really cool if we could do that for the UKOCR series. One of the a couple of interesting ones, I think. Where's it gone? High jump. So it's only interesting because you've just got to sprint and just jump from about 3 or 4 meters up into the water. And
often people can't reach it. Is that the case? Like what we're doing with the real, we'll have a listen to the briefing at the start about that one.
That's right. I remember now. Yeah, it's a bit like swing a ding, if I remember rightly, but without the swingy bit, it's just a ding. Yeah.
I think to be fair, last year they didn't have to hit the bell. They just had to make sure that they're jumping into the water. Make that jump. And then waterfall. Do you remember that one, Chris? Where basically it's a big A-frame, but there's a load of water coming down as you're trying to climb up. The water's coming down, and you get to the other side. So that's interesting, because I think there's quite a long water pool to wade through before you actually get there. So you're already wet, and then you're trying to climb up the A-frame.
Yeah, that's right. It's all little things that just slow down the all and out running that you're going to get. So yeah, although it doesn't seem too technical, it will sort of split the pack a bit and move things around a little.
So what are the rest of the stats? How many kilometers? Quite flat. How many obstacles do you reckon? You can see them on the website mostly, like peaks.
No, there's not many.
Not many, like 20, 30?
26, it says here, 26. So for those that want to have a quick look, they can go to the Total Warrior website, totalwarrior.co.uk. Lots of different videos on YouTube, because I went to check them out earlier. Just type in Total Warrior leads. You'll be able to find a few, including mine, but mine's probably not as useful as some of the others that I've seen. But 26 obstacles. It finishes, if you remember, Chris, the Alps, which was kind of the mountain climb A-frames, goes into then Hang Tough, which are the monkey bars, and then Mighty Peaks, which is the very long kind of Everest type quarter pipe run. And then there's a sprint to the finish, isn't there? It's about a 300 meter sprint to the finish.
Yeah, last year it was slightly downhill as well, which made for a really exciting finish. I know Das and James Burton had a bit of a leg it for the end of there. Yeah.
And last week or last race we did, I was hoping for the slip and slide. That's I like to get my top speed on the slip and slide, and it wasn't there. I do think sometimes that it's a bit dangerous. This one has one called Slide Away. Do you reckon that will make an appearance? A slide?
Apparently it is there. Number 11, Slide Away, straight into the high jump. That sounds as though that is the right areas where that long slide, and it was what is it, about 40 or 50 meter slide that it is. So yes,
it's got sort of inflatable sides, so it looks like quite a substantial slide. So that should be fun.
Right,
give it quite a run.
Channels.
Where are your fastest shorts, Chris? Fastest for sliding.
The budgie smugglers.
Yeah, more skin. That's what they do.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
what it
All
is. Like lube yourself up a little bit. But
Yeah.
they've also got that obstacle. It's called Back It Up, and that's quite a difficult one. It's where you have to crawl on your back underneath a small
Yeah.
pool of water, and that's quite a horrible obstacle. I don't know about you guys, but I hate getting water in my ears. I've got quite large ears, and they fill up quite a lot, so not a nice obstacle.
That sounds similar to the one in Challenge Cup, Nuclear Challenge Cup, and that was where we started to get really wet and cold this year. Oh, just remember how cold we were just a month ago.
It like that though this time.
So we don't have a start list. We don't have a start list at the moment because we, again, as people know, we record relatively early, so we've not been able to get a start list. I'll go through some of the results from last year. I'll talk about the current standings, and then I'm sure we can hazard a guess who's almost definitely going to be there. And Chris and Becky, if you've been able to speak to any of your elite racing friends, I'm sure they've told you whether they are going or not. So last year, males, just because I've got this in front of me, Dan Tickham in first, Cole Bell in second, Jason Brunnock third, Jason Burgess fourth, Gavin Hogarth fifth, Dascanella sixth, James Burton seventh, Dave Rogers eighth, Jason Holbury ninth, and Darren Martin in 10th place. And then in the female side, Louise Furman first, Karen McQuarrie second. And Karen wasn't there at Rude Rampage. I think she'd gone over to, is it Strong Viking?
OCR, yeah.
Yeah.
She came fourth.
Oh, did she? Brilliant. I want to do, I don't want to do stuff like Strong Viking.
Yeah, me too.
Brilliant race.
She's great at swimming, and that was the water one.
Tamar Barkley third, Debbie Love fourth, Erica Paul fifth, Carmen and Matty sixth, and Wendy Brothers in seventh place. So that was earlier race last year, wasn't it? I'm sure it's an early race in the season, wasn't it? Second race. But yes, very strong. The current standings in the 2023 UKOCR series, 3 races, provisional at the moment, because again, we're early and we haven't quite finished off the races, the race scorings. But Morgan Maxwell first, Jason Brunnock second, Fergal Keeney fourth, Alex Young fourth, Matt Roberts fifth, John Redmond sixth, Ramunas Wickis seventh, Edward Lambert eighth, ninth is Ryan Saban, and 10th Daniel Warren. And if I just go over the female side, Fedi DeCurrier in first, Becky Neal and Josie Lloyd in joint second, Tamar Barkley fourth, Louise Ferriman fifth, Libby Joyce sixth, Cheryl Beach seventh, Shelley Tompkins eighth, ninth is Emma Kirkwood, and 10th is Elizabeth Brimicombe. Becky, who do you expect to be there for the 4th race?
Well, yeah, a few things to note from what you just discussed. From last year's results and who we haven't seen much this year in the men's, we thought we might see him last weekend, but Carl Bell, closer to home, more his style. I wouldn't be surprised if he made a return. So he's only had the Spartan race so far, so he won't be in that top ranking just yet. But he might kind of score some high points here. And I just think that Gavin Hogarth might be making a return.
He did put down last year. Yeah,
a bit injured before, and then he was running his own races and doing high rocks and things. And so I think it's time for his return, with the race being a bit more north. That's kind of useful as well. So there's kind of some names to watch who maybe we haven't seen so much in the series yet so far. Plus, because we've had some people only do 1 or 2 races, the people at the top of the rankings at the moment are the ones that have done 3 and then done 3 the best, of course. So there are actually some names down in about 60th place or around there, or a bit higher as well, who might suddenly jump towards the top or suddenly appear at this race. So I think that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
In the women's, I think it's going to be a much bigger start line this year. There's no more kind of secret racing. there's no more kind of small start lines, which is really great. Just that everyone gets to know each other better, and we're all turning up to all the races. So hopefully we'll see a bigger field this year. It's all sold out pretty much. The first wave was already sold out, and we're going to have people in that wave for this event. So it should be pretty competitive. People going, most people. Not me actually. Das is going. I'm not Das liked it last year and his sprint finished with James, like you said. So he's gonna go, but I can't go, so I won't be.
It's definitely a race. It's definitely a race that suits Das.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needs to. Yeah, he knows what to do. He's got to do it. It's a pretty long journey actually from my house, but I can't complain.
That's the trouble when it's so far away. So who do we think is going to turn up? It's the only race on at the weekend, isn't it?
No, Spartan race is on at the same weekend.
Right.
Isn't
So
it?
that's
Spartan Midland.
Spartan Midland same weekend.
Yeah.
That is right. So then potentially though, a lot of people who would be suited to this race might turn up to try and get them extra points off the people that might turn up to Spartan.
To be fair though, the Saturday is Spartan Beast, and then the sprint and the super is on the Sunday. And this is a 10K, not that far away. Yeah, they're not far away from each other. So I think people will be doing a different type of trifecta.
Yeah, I think so too. And I've seen more and more comments still coming out saying, "Oh, is there any way to get in wave one?" You know, after Josie's win last weekend, I think she's keen, and she's probably keen on Spartan as well. So she could have, Josie could have 3 wins in a row.
Yeah, really good points.
Put it out there. Good luck, Josie.
That'd be fighting talk from Becky, Josie.
I was going to say, just putting the pressure on there, right?
There might be somebody on her heels to race her, but I'll be at home that weekend. I was nowhere near her anyway in the last race.
Chris, any thoughts about Chris, any thoughts about any of the other guys that you're pretty sure? I mean, Darren got 10th place last year. Mo was there. You're pretty close to a lot of your teammates. So do you know if they're going? Definitely going.
I seem to hang around with every sort of team. Really, I just sort of linger on with everyone. But it's difficult to say. I know Morgan. He wasn't going to do Rude Rampage, but he wanted them points. So there's a good chance that he'll be trying to get some more points, especially as he knows that Dan Titcombe's coming up without his injury anymore. So he's going to be like, Dan Titcombe's probably Morgan's biggest foe at the moment, and I'm sure he's worried about him. So I think if he can squeeze some extra points in, he'll definitely want to do it. Same with Jason as well. I mean, the guys in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, even Alex Young, if he gets a win in, knowing that a lot of people are coming to maybe going to Spartan, he might just be like, "Oh, I'll come in and do this, get some extra points," and that'll push him real high up on the scoreboard. So even I'm thinking about it. I did see the other day though. Because Sam Clark, he's had really strong performances, but I've seen he did get a little bit of a knee injury. So I'm hoping that's not going to be too bad, because we don't want to see him out of anything.
Yeah, so, hopefully not. But he does live far away as well.
Yeah, he's near you and me. Yeah. He's in between us both, isn't he? So
did you say Sam does have a strong number of points at the moment. He's in 18th place, but it's only 2 races, 758 points. Scott Barker, 17th place, 2 races, 759 points. And then Das, 16th, 2 races, 760. So actually, it's just a really strong packing. And it is really important to get some of these races in and start to get these points, because the longer you leave it, the less, the less wiggle room that you have.
I'm pretty sure 100% we'll see James Burton at this one.
Will Jack Carpenter go?
I don't know. He might do. Barry Buchanan should turn up for this one. Strong runners, it's a good chance to get them points. And I think that's what people need to look at. They need to look at what the race is, what the style they race at, and take it from there.
Cheaper than a Spartan race?
Well, anything is. A cup of coffee is.
A house.
So for those that haven't yet signed up, if you go sign up and want to race in the elite, you do have to be a member of British Obstacle Sports. But right now, all you need to do is to sign up for any wave and then have your registration number and your boss membership number. Send that to admin@UKOCR. We will just verify that, and we will get you in the first wave. But at this moment in time, you can't just sign up for the first wave because it is showing as sold out. But if you want to compete, we will be able to get you on there. If you don't listen to this or you've forgotten about this, make sure you're just on the Facebook group page for the members of British Obstacle Sports, and the instructions are there. Saturday is £84.95. not a bad price really for everything you get. This obviously the medal, finish a drink, and photos. It is such a great race as well.
There's actually going to be a few other kind of points to note for the competitive race for the series. So once you're in that first wave, we're essentially running this slightly differently to the other races in the series. Just need a bit of extra support from everybody to make sure it kind of works seamlessly and fairly for everyone, because there's a limited number of people that can help. So everybody who is competing as part of this UKOCR series needs to fill out another form. It's a Google form which has been shared on various member groups and WhatsApp groups as well. Just ask if you need it, just to say that you're going to be competing in this and you're kind of agreeing to have good racer integrity and all of that. There will be kind of a briefing at the start to explain any of the kind of finer details surrounding some of the rules and things, but you'll be given a bib to kind of show that you're racing, which means that any technical officials that are there will know that you will need to have the rules enforced. So that won't necessarily be everybody in wave one. It is sold out with people other than us racing the series. So there may be people who are not in the series who are in wave one, who aren't following the rules like you are. So the points will actually be done differently to previous races. So you'll only be getting points based on the people who are wearing the bibs. So only against people who are following the same rules as you. So it's nice and fair. Likely to be a time penalty, and kind of all the details of that will be shared at the start and just before, and you'll might get kind of communicated that to you if you've signed this form. So that's what you need to do to make sure you have all the information. Hopefully we can avoid little things that come up here and there with everybody's help on board. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you. So if you haven't already and yet you still want to, you go to totalwarrior.co.uk, get yourself signed up. Make sure you're on the Facebook group for members of British Obstacle Sports. We'll make sure that we get you into the first wave to be competitive with everybody else. So Becky, let's talk about the ladies. Who do you think's going? And I'm assuming our friend Karen McCorry will be coming back for Total Warrior. She had such a good performance last year. And if you're not coming, Karen, why not? You should be down here. Becky, sorry, over to you.
Yeah, so we already mentioned Josie, and close behind her last week was Federica. Fede's a great runner. Chris appreciates your running form, don't you, Chris?
Such a good stride. Beautiful stride. Yeah,
was that from the video that I shared, Chris, or did you just see that she had great form anyway?
I've just seen she's got great form.
So you're saying you don't follow me? You're saying you don't follow me on Instagram, so you didn't see that great video that I took?
It was a great video. The start was fun, and it was great to have you capturing it, Will. Thank you.
Thanks, Becky. At least someone appreciates me.
Because I was in the video too.
I was checking you all out. That's what I was doing. Checking you all out.
But yeah, so other people that have been running fast recently, Tamar wasn't far behind in many of these races. Spartan was a bit different. So it's good to kind of, hopefully we'll see how they like to do a little car share with Team Wild Forest. So hopefully we'll see a few familiar faces from Wild Forest traveling up, but I don't know if she is going or not. Louise will be stoking the fire, I'm sure, after Rude Rampage, ready for kind of some revenge. I think we're all pretty tired after that. So
she's never far behind anything, really, is
she?
If she can get some extra points, she'll be trying to get some extra points.
Yeah, she's tenacious.
Very.
So she'll come back strong. And yeah, Libby, I mean, she's not racing Europe stuff as mother, so she won't be extra tired or anything. Anyone going to Glastonbury might be tired. I don't know. It's a week before. But I don't know. It sounds pretty.
Is Libby going back? Is Libby racing? Because I know there's an age limit on this one. She wasn't allowed to race last year. So she may not be allowed to race at Total Warrior, which is a shame. She's doing so well in this series, and again, it's a runner's course. She is much more of a runner than kind of the obstacles at this moment in time. So I'm not sure whether she's allowed to race right now. Or this particular race?
Yeah, maybe not, but she's a great all-rounder, so any of the other races, she can have a good comeback, and maybe she'll do well in Spartan instead if she's fresh the day after or on the day.
Yeah, hopefully we see Pip down there as well. She seems to be running really well. Pip Rainbow.
And if you look at in the series results, there's a whole group of them joint, I think, or a similar points and pips in there, and she's
in the mix.
Yeah, she did really well at Euros as well. Successful in the obstacles.
Yeah. So
probably Megan as well. Megan lives up that way.
Tranta.
Yeah.
Yep. So Pit Rainbow, Cheryl Lee Pace, Shyla Dehaney, 692 points, all in joint 12. And Carney Aranda Casillas, 15th place, 673. Claire Bancroft, 672. Megan, as you just mentioned, Megan Tranter, 667 in 17th place. Kerry White, 666, and joint 19th place, Catherine Feeney and Sancho Martin, 659. So again, you've just said that there's a really tight pack of women all around that. So getting a few more points in is definitely going to be pushing them up.
And they've all only done 2 races as well. So
I think it's actually also really competitive at the moment or about to see it in the Masters category. There's quite a few people in 40 this year and over. Head-to-head very close and either one race behind or not. So I think that's going to have some impact at this race, especially if there's a couple of people missing here and there.
I'll
quickly go through the Masters male top 5. Alex Young first, John Redmond second, Ramunas Wickis third, Edward Lambert fourth, and John Paul in 5th place. And in the Masters female, Tamar Barkley in first, Louise Ferriman second place. Only 36 points between those. And Carney Casillas, 673 points. Claire Bancroft in 4th, and Kerry White in 5th place. Again, really tight between 3rd to 5th. Actually, 3rd to 8th is really close. So Sandra Martin, Ruth Battersea, Kirsty Stillwell. So 4th to 8th, there's 30 points between them. So that's so tight. Again, 2 races.
Yeah. And then if you look at the 2 races, you chuck in Das, Barry and James and Declan all on 2 races. And if they're all going to Total Warrior, they'll suddenly be kind of competing for the top spot, probably.
I'm sure after they've heard this, they'll be like, oh.
Didn't realise we were 40 this year.
Yeah. They all look so good, don't they? Everyone in that category looks better than we do.
I know. I agree.
I've had a hard life. I don't know about you two, but
my brain's had a hard life. Yeah. Exciting. Wish I was going. Good luck, everybody.
I wish I was going. I have a wedding to go attend, so it's not an unfortunately that I can't go. It's a very nice way of spending my weekend, but I won't be there to do any filming or otherwise. I had fun luck with Libby last year, and that was a really good fun time we had. Guys, thank you very much for your time once again. You can follow us all on Instagram. You can follow Becky at The Runner Bean UK. You can follow Chris at Obstacle Race Dude. If you haven't already, please do follow UKOCR across all the social channels at UKOCR. And of course, it's British Obstacle Sports, which is at British Obstacle Sports. If you haven't already, please go sign up for Total Warrior. That's just www.totalwarrior.co.uk. Once again, thanks to Chris and Becky for being with us. This has been the UKOCR Who's Hot podcast previewing Total Warrior Leeds, which is Saturday, 1st of July. So from Becky, Chris and myself, it's goodbye, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Podcast. This is Who's Hot, and we are here to talk. This is Who's Hot. I don't want to waste what's left. Chris.
I don't think we talked about many of the women that much.
Oh, apologies.
We talked about Josie. Hot take, might win. Maybe Federica.
Hold on. Let's give it a break. We'll cut all that bit out. Let's start again.
I don't really have much to say, but yeah.
Okay. Well, Chris can make some stuff. Which is Saturday, 1st of July. So that's the rest